In this video, we'll discuss the Junos OS versions. Now, the Junos operating system has a quarterly release schedule, and each quarter we may have releases of the operating system that provide new services or new features to the product itself. Also, quarterly, they'll go and ship out any fixes to any common problems that they've experienced with the device itself. Now, they also have revisions indicated as well, in the sense that R1 would be the initial release, and then kind of additional bug fixes would come out as R2, R3, R4, and so on. They also have a decimal numbering system that they use to indicate the build number of the release as well. Junos uses what we call the Junos OS release numbers to indicate the version of the product that you're looking at. Now, the version is actually kind of made up of multiple parts. The first part, which is indicated here with the letter lowercase m, that's the major release number. So when we look at our example here, we've got a sample of 10.2r1.8. So the 10 is the major release number. Then after the dot, you have the minor release number. So you may find that a major version goes through many minor releases, which are just small little fixes or updates to the product itself. But then we have this Z indicator here, and this placeholder is to specify the type of software release, right? So for example, looking at our sample here, we can see that the major release is 10, the minor release is 2, but then that value there of Z to reference the type of software release is, you can see it's capital letter R. So capital letter R is the code, meaning for it's a maintenance release. So you might also have a capital B there for a beta release, capital I for an internal release, a capital S for a service release to solve some sort of specific problem, or X would mean that it's a special release. So there's a few different codes that they use, and in this case, that's going to be a maintenance release. And then after that, we have the lowercase b. So that's our build number, right, which is the 1. And then after that, we do have our spin number, so it's 1.8. So there are many different values go into that release number to indicate, the version of the product itself. Many different versions of the Junos OS has come out over time. So just to kind of give you an idea of the versions and the timeline here. So versions Junos OS 4.0 up to 4.4, was from 2000 to 2001. Then in 2001 to 2003, we had the Junos 5.0 to 5.7. Then from 2003 to 2004, we had the Junos 6.0 to 6.4 version. And then in 2004 to 2006, we progressed to the Junos OS 7.0 and 7.6. And then in 2006 to 2007, we had the Junos OS 8.0 going to 8.5. And then in 2008 to 2009, we had the Junos 9.0 to 9.6. From 2009 through 2010, we had the Junos OS version 10.0 through to 10.4. And then 2011, we had the Junos OS 11.1 through to 11.4. And then in 2013 through to 2014, we had the Junos OS 12.1 up to 12.3. 2014, we have had the Junos OS 14.1 up to 14.2. And then finally in 2015, Junos OS 15.1 to, we'll have to see where that ends up. Those are quite a few versions within this operating system, and it shows that, it is something that's kind of built over time and kind of has been around for quite some time. So in this video, we discuss Junos OS versions.